They always burn the fodder characters off. Like they eat. They never literally even get them. Like, come on, they killed Roku with fucking lava. Roku, the fucking fire. He was literally the avatar of
I
fire.
mean, he got caught up in a volcano though. Like like
Nigga, you're the avatar.
That nigga had soot in his eye. That's just it.
Nigga, he's the avatar.
The fuck?
He had no reason to die on that damn thing. He could literally fly. He had a dragon inside. No reason to die.
Well, he was like 100 years old at that point. He was discombobulated.
Yeah, he wasn't a spring chicken. Like he was ancient. So
he had a fucking dragon.
His dragon could have scooped him up, yeah, but he himself.
Said, oh, you gonna die here? I'm gonna die with you.
That was fire though. That was like poetic. Like that was like
it's touching. Stupid.
I mean, but by the same logic, couldn't Appa had just flew Aang out of the storm?
Which one?
Aang went. He fell into the ocean, and instead of flying out of the ocean in the Avatar, instead of just control. I don't like doing this angle because once you start, you could do this with everything, right?
Yeah.
Like start talking about the logistics or something. If he was the Avatar, with access to the Avatar state, and in a desperate attempt to survive, couldn't he just stop the storm? The point that I'm trying to make is, if you put like this, think about it like this. Now, I don't know if your argument would be those Aang learned elements. So the better you are as an Avatar, the better you will be in your Avatar state. And that would be like, if you were going for the win, that'd be the argument you would make. The problem I got is Aang was in the Avatar state when he created the iceberg. I seen Aang in the Avatar state when he fought Ozai, right? That Avatar state looked quantitatively different than the other Avatar state. Like
it's a different ability. Couldn't bend the other elements.
The storm was always raining outside, and the waves are tough. But I'm on a flying bison. Fell into the ocean and created an iceberg. What he couldn't do,
he low key didn't even create an iceberg. Like he did, but he didn't. Like it was like he was sitting in the water. He clearly used when he used his air because you gotta remember he didn't know any other bending besides it at this point in time. He summoned a big ass whirlpool around him that froze over because of the wind temperature. Like clearly, it was more because he
went to the Avatar state and made the little circle around him. Then he went like this. Him out froze.
But that was an Avatar state. It's some Bible thing. It's no different from when.
But the point that I'm making though is, in the Avatar state, couldn't he just stop the storm? Like what?
No. He's not. He's not.
Like, yeah, I'm about to say. I'm pretty sure in the state of Avatar, like even though you in Avatar, absolute control over that shit. There's some level of strength you have over the weapon.
I seen Avatar Kyoshi. Like she split.
She literally pushed the
land. Are you compare Avatar Aang to
So what you're saying is Avatar State Aang could take Sozin's comment and put it back in the with ease.
He probably could with the earth bending and the fire bending.
I don't think he that strong, nigga.
He's not that strong. He couldn't even stop the volcano.
Nah, but we'll keep it a buck. If Avatar State gives you the knowledge and the bending of all your previous avatars, so if
I didn't know that. That's a whole different conversation.
Avatar Kyoshi could split. She split the landmass and literally created an island. Like literally, she was on the piece of the land, right? You said, hey, you're not gonna conquer us. Why not? Because I'm gonna create this volcano.
She was earthbending, which is her main element. Like
to separate, and she was moving. Like she was moving the island. Like she was.
She did what Trump wanted.
She was visible, then the island wasn't visible. That's how far away she was moving. How fast she was moving. I'm not saying Aang had to do that. I'm just saying if Avatar Kyoshi could do that in the Avatar state, we gotta
lie. Aang was like a kid. You're talking about a kid versus a grown woman who's fighting. Who was literally a
same Avatar though. It's the same Avatar state.
It's the same Avatar state, but you have to understand.
He literally became Kyoshi when he put clothes on.
He did come
on trial. And she pulled up to the trial. Like, yeah, I killed boy. That was me. I stand on it. Like he was bugging. He was wilding.
And on the summer solstice, he turned into Roshi. I mean, Roku.
Also, you gotta also remember that the fact is Kyoshi is 1,000 times bigger than him. She stands like 7 foot. Let's be real.
If that's the angle you claw for, I give you that.
It's no angle. It's the facts. There's no angle there. That's just the fact that she's way bigger.
She's way more. Okay, so like this.
She has way more. She has way
The
better.
same thing happened.
Everything she has, Aang has.
Not even that. The
No.
same scenario happened in the second season of Avatar, right? Like when Sokka went out, it was one episode where
It was episode
Will
1.
chastised Aang for running away, right? And you get the backstory of Aang and Zuko,
Okay.
right? Aang, like when he found out he was an Avatar, he's like, "Oh, they putting so much pressure on me." And then they told him he had to go to a different air temple. He ran away, encountered a storm. He encountered the same storm in this season where Sokka and the Bulls working, like they went fishing. Aang went to go get him on Appa, hit the storm, and was in the same exact situation. But Avatar stayed his way out of it. Now, I don't know what you want me to do.
As the second season, he had better control over his.
Zim, in the Avatar state, none of that matters. You really have the knowledge of all your. You really have the knowledge of all your previous avatars.
It does
That's
matter.
what I said. This is what I'm saying. If his hypothesis is that the better you are as a avatar, individually, the greater you could use the avatar state. If that's the argument you're going to make, because I can see you saying that from that perspective, Aang at his peak avatar state power wise was fighting Ozai, right?
Yes.
Now, in theory, he should have been able to do that every other time he went into the avatar state, but he did. Now, the other argument for Deem's sake is that he wasn't fighting no enemy on the level of Ozai, so him going to that level of the avatar state was unnecessary. But the first time you seen it was like the second episode of the show where he was Zuko threw a fireball at him. He fell off the ship and he was
landed in the water.
Reaction.
They turned to a big ass turtle.
What I'm saying.
And that's like episode 3, like.
Why ain't just go up in the air, create that air bubble, surround the surf with earth, wind, and fire? Like what he was doing versus Ozai could have been did that. Right?
Well, I think the difference between the fight against Ozai in episode 1 or 2 or 3 or Avatar is he had control over the Avatar state. But in the beginning of the series, he only went into it in heightened emotional moments. By the end of the series, he went to Guru Patik and unlocked all the chakras and shit and got control over it.
That's what I'm saying. Because there's no when you think about.
That's what I'm saying. You can make the argument: the better you are as an individual avatar, the greater your ability to use the avatar state.
Aang is the strongest avatar to ever be. Wanna know why?
Aang became the strongest avatar.
Because fucking Avatar Korra got her shit snatched. So now anybody come after her don't have nobody else knowledge except for Korra's.
Aang was the most
That's fucking hilarious.
It might have been another avatar out there though. It might have been one of them during one of them.
Between Juan, between Juan and somebody else.
It might have been somebody that was like crazy, like really him. Like he was metal bending first. He was.
Ain't none of them was ever named like.
Cause I ain't see no avatar lightning bend or metal bend. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what got me thinking. I'm like, if it's from all just got at least one of them niggas that know a high.
But how though? If one of them had to know lightning bending, I agree with you there. But metal bending, Toph invented.
Yeah, Toph invented this.
Exactly. She invented her own form. But that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta think about. They have to have some type of control over their abilities to even be able to do that. They have to practice. It don't matter if you're going to the avatar state because if you cannot control it, you're just based on.
The knowledge don't matter if you're.
But I'm not sure how much that really played in a factor though, because Roku when Aang became Roku, he was doing everything.
Yeah,
he was lava bending. He was lava bending when he was Roku.
Yeah, I think he could, but that's something Roku could do.
Exactly.
But that was Aang though. That wasn't just.
Yes, but that's the Aang we're talking about. The trained Aang environment.
That was season 1. That was season 1.
Season 1.
Season 1, and was he trying?
Summer solstice. But not even. This was before the summer solstice. This was him going to meet Roku.
That was
spin the block at the summer.
That was summer solstice. I mean,
I don't think it was the summer solstice.
It was.
On the statue, Roku was telling Aang. It might have been the summer solstice. Was it the summer solstice?
Yeah, I think it was.
Basically, what I'm getting from all this information is
you cutting out like shit, Quan. I ain't gonna
you going. This what you said. Basically, what I'm getting from that is the avatar state.
Is moonlight.
It's moonlight,
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of different niggas.
Yeah, you can hear it in his voice when he talk. Like he said, Fire Lord Ozai, you and your forefathers have. Yeah, you can hear it.
That was hard. That was hard. That was a letdown right there. He was supposed to hit him with a different attack. Like he was supposed to obliterate him off the face of the earth.
Now you got a nigga chin. You get a nigga chin here. There's nothing you can do about that.
That was hard too. When he came out the fire cooker joint, he said, "Yo, stop playing with me, Ozai." And then he smacked the. Nah, that was fire. That was fire. I'm just apoplectic that they was really trying the Avatar. Like, if you knew what that boy was really capable of, why would you trying him like that?
If I'm saying, like, the whole Dark Avatar thing, especially since Korra lost all her past lives, like, imagine the next Avatar series got a Dark Avatar and a regular Avatar, and they both learning the 4 elements. That'd be fire.
Evil Avatar would make
I mean, this is the thing about this. Is why I didn't really rock with Legend of Korra, especially after season 1 is. Deem, the way they broke it down is the only way you could get the bending powers, the way the Avatar got the bending powers was from the lion turtles.
Yeah.
And that's why the Avatar won. That's why the Avatar cycle went down the way it did. Like Unalaq, the Dark Avatar didn't have all bending. He only had water. So I don't.
Oh, you talking about the water bending? I mean the blood bending bull?
No, I don't think Unalaq could blood bend. I'm thinking you thinking about Tarlok and Amon.
Probably Amon, because I didn't get into Legend of Korra the same as Avatar Last Airbender, but I feel like Korra would have had the potential to be better than technically better than Aang, because they grew up in 2 different like areas.
Yeah, I'm about to say like Korra's situation was that she was in a more established economy. So I can see what he's saying from there.
Nah, she wasn't better.
Even if she was at one point, she can't be now because she lost all her past lives.
Yes, I'm just saying.
He keep bringing it back to that.
Yeah,
like,
because having the knowledge of every Avatar before you, thousands of people.
Dean does not let go of the fact that she was in the wheelchair.
She was in the wheelchair, bro.
Yeah, she was in the wheelchair.
That was when she lost that.
She was going around like she the Avatar doing this.
Yo, Dean. This is like, you know how like they do the LeBron James and Jordan GOAT debate, right?
Yeah.
The level of competition was quantitatively different for Korra, though. I would give it that. She wasn't fighting like Aang was fighting majority grunts man. He was fighting the Fire Nation in majority grunts. Like he wasn't.
Niggas never beat Azula once.
But then again, he was 12 and master all. He was 12 master all elements.
He beat her at Ba Sing Se. When they was on that drill, he got the W.
Put the lightning in that nigga back, bro. What you talking about?
That was fire. That was fire. But that wasn't like a 1v1 though. That like she succeeded.
God, bro. He went to the Evers and got hit in the back with a lightning.
I agree. She caught him lacking. She did her thing. That was fire. That was like a top 3 moment for her. But I'm saying. That wasn't a 1v1 though. Like she had like a whole platoon of Dai Li agents and Zuko next to her. Like it wasn't like it was square up. Like she put like this. It was Katara and Aang versus Zuko and Azula, and Katara and Aang was winning. It was when the Dai Li agents pulled up, Aang thought it was necessary to even go in the Avatar state. So, like listen, I love Azula, but it ain't. If we talking like what Aang was capable of doing, like Aang didn't even want to hurt people.
No, he was a soft nigga, and it's
like
not hurt people don't make you soft. Don't do that.
Yeah, but he was a pacifist. His whole energy was like, yo, I don't have to. If I don't have to fight you now, mind you, I do love when Aang got in that bag. Like when they stole Appa. Aang was like, yo, you took my bison. You took my bison.
Muzzled Appa? That nigga sorry.
I wanted him to kill somebody. I wanted him to tap into that gong energy. I needed to see a dead body there, a couple dead sandbenders. He said, "Where Appa at?" Oh yeah, I sold him. And Toph was in the back gassing him up. Yeah, he put a muzzle on him. You put a muzzle on Appa. It's up for you.
So, that nigga turned Super Saiyan.
Yeah, that was fire. And then they start talking about, I didn't know it was yours. And you think you just steal people bisons? And the way he tried to defend himself, I didn't know it was the avatars. I would have let it slide.
That was literally the last bison known Nigga
But
said,
you're not
yeah,
hearing him though, right? He's saying I didn't know it was the avatars. Like the implication there is that so if I wasn't the avatar, you still on my shit would have been cool. Like if I wasn't me, you could have did what you did. Now you get to die.
basically wrong.
You, your pop, your uncle, your cousin, all y'all getting the clip. Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad at him if he did
You
all
know that
that.
nigga Dai Lee? What
All
about him?
right,
What's his
all right.
first name?